Today's episode is with a serial entrepreneur whose energy and vision is larger than life, with a career in media that spans from advertising to TV and radio, being the producer and host of the Serbian Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, all the way to establishing a global video production company. With partners like Microsoft, serving clients in Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. His love for content creation has led him to develop innovative technologies in video production with various brands to his name. Always creating, developing, and sharing ideas and concepts, the man whose smile lights up the room, Ivan, welcome to Failures and Beyond.
Thank you, Farid, for this amazing announcement, and I really want to keep it. Please send me so I can put it on LinkedIn. So I can put it on LinkedIn there as a summary.
You know what? I'll print it for you and put it as a plaque. There you go.
There are, like being so humble as I am.
Yes, I know.
I wouldn't say so many things, but really the facts are there, And when you say it like that, like everybody's thinking about themselves. Oh, I just did that.
You think I did that? Oh my God!
And this is how imposter syndrome is born.
Yeah.
But from time to time, it's good to tell to yourself, do you know who you are?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you know what you did? Do you know what achievements did you do in your life? So I think it's from time to time important, and I think that most of the people do not say that to themselves. It's awful when you say to someone else, "Do you know who I am?" No, but when you say to yourself, it's healing.
There's nothing wrong with being, confident and recognizing your achievements. I think there's a fine line between that and then becoming very arrogant with it. Yeah. I don't think we're anywhere close to this.
Yeah.
But our humility is fine. Modesty is wonderful. But also don't forget what you've achieved. I honestly think that it's a very brave thing to do, to put it all out there. And it's not easy for some. I think for you, you're very open about your experiences, which is why I love just being in your energy, because it's refreshing, right? You're open, you're authentic, you just speak from the heart.
So you're pushing me to be as transparent as possible.
100%, yes. That is an affirmative, yes. So just go, you be you. That's what I love, right?
Thank you.
And I want to start with one of my favorite questions, why? Why did you start your current businesses that you've got, Poddster, Castvio, Prodi? Why did you start them, and what's the problem that it's solving?
Yeah, Simon Sinek will be proud of you.
Thank you so much. One of my favorite books, Start With Why, yes.
Start with why. And that's the key question. But can I just turn a little bit story to that word? Because you don't have to start something necessarily with the why.
Oh, yeah,
but if you don't get it on the way, that's the problem.
Then it's correct,
So,
yes.
When I came to Dubai 10 years ago, I was like, okay, I just want to relax from the big businesses to employing people and so on. And I just want to express my creativity and my urge to create, to produce, And this is how and obviously being in media today, 31 years. Being in media for 30 years, it was not by chance. It's something that infected my body, and mind. And I said, okay, I'll be in media. But then on the way, so we started with some videos, one by one video, this, that, And then with Mr. Zia, we mentioned.
We love Mr. Zia.
Yeah. So we started video by video. And then as the time passes, on that road, you have your signs next to the road, because Ivo Andrić, famous Nobel Prize winner from Serbia for literature, has a book, The Signs Next to the Road.
Mm-hmm.
And your life is that road, and you just pick up signs, and then you direct your road to this or that direction, depending on the signs that you're getting. So I remember that I was out of this world happy when I was on Dubai Links 2015, when the guy from London, I knew his name and from which company, but doesn't matter at the moment. He mentioned the word on stage, digital video, 2015. Imagine 2015, almost eight years ago, so almost 10 years ago. And I was like, yes. That simple thing made this what, maybe not why, but what came to life to me. So I was decided digital video. I was telling everyone, like I was so excited. This is what I want to do. Digital video, digital. What is digital video? Yeah, because the video was produced digitally for
Sure.
ages, but using it on digital platforms. And today, what we are doing is using it for communication, not only for promotional purposes. So that was one sign. The other sign came 2 years later. Gary Vee was in Hong Kong, Rice conference. So we were traveling around Asia, getting inspired, meeting people, developing businesses, whatnot. So we were in Hong Kong on the Rice conference. On stage, Gary Vee says, "Today, every company is a media company." Wow. Even today, it resonates in my head. And not to mention that he mentioned also today, every person is a media person, and then whatever he does, she does. And then every company is a media company, and then whatever they do. It was 2017, and I have to be very honest with you. Even today, which is 6 years later, it's too early for the world to understand that. 6 years later, I was lucky enough to sit down with Gary Vee. And as I said, from this year, from this Canon Lions Festival this year, he knows who I am, even from Dubai. But I was sitting with him and I was listening to him and I was learning, and it's still too early for the world to understand that simple words that he put. But that was enough for me, digital video, and then this today every company is a media company, to go to companies and try to put the storytelling into their DNA, and to understand that they can use not only, in big companies, like even the companies above 10 or 20 people, the communication is a problem. The guys from the editing doesn't necessarily know what's happening in the finance or this and there, and there are some things that they should know anyhow. So this is exactly how Castvio, my flagship business, came to life. And in a nutshell, Castvio is setting up studios not like this, but setting up small studios within the companies and helping them communicate better and giving them whole service needed end to end to produce sometimes very simple videos like job ads or trainings or onboarding, and sometimes complex videos about diversity and I don't know, like what marketing and not at all. So that was my path, decided by the signs I saw on the road.
It's the number one thing in let's say creation, that you have an idea and a lot of people will say it's a crazy idea, or who are you even serving? Like who would be your customer? And you believe in it. That belief you have, it steers you forward. Even the people
Exactly.
will doubt you and be thinking, no one's going to come, who's going to buy this? And you just have the belief that there is a market for this. That's where you've allowed your science to take you.
And also, the signs are always with us, even when you start the business.
Yeah.
For example, Poddster, Vuk, and I, when we started Poddster, the original idea for Poddster was we will offer a podcast as a commercial service to the companies. So we will go there, we will film podcasts within the comfort of your office, and we will produce hundreds of pieces of content for that month, and everybody's happy and so on. So we even signed the deals with companies, but it was never happening because companies are too complex and innovation killers, and it's too complex to digest what this kind of communication is. But on the other side, there was a sign when in April 2022, I think, a few guys asked us, "Oh, can we film in your studio?" Because at the time we had our own podcast, and this is how the whole business came to life. And they asked us, "Can we film in your studio?" And we were like, "Yes." "How much do we pay?" This much. Okay.
Light bulb,
And
yeah.
then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a year. Fast forward 1 year, in the same studio, you were there,
Yep.
in the same studio, there was a waiting line of 1 month for the slot in the studio. Then we realized, oh, we are losing business, and that this is how this where we are at now came to life. So the sign was, okay, corporates, you signed something, but nothing is happening. But people are asking to film in your studio, and that's the maybe the crucial word in entrepreneurship business is pivot.
Pivot, 100%.
And then you pivoted, and now really, like.
Here
The
we
guys
are.
cannot manage how many requests and how many recordings we have
It's
here. Even in the
fascinating. I
second
mean,
studio.
how you were able to be flexible enough to pivot. That's the beauty of being a small enough company that you don't have to get buy-in from the board and from God knows who, and everyone has to then say yes or no. That even, let's say, one of the biggest changing experiences for a lot of entrepreneurs or business owners was COVID. And I think if you were able to take whatever signs that came to be in your professional career and were able to pivot, you are still around. And the ones who were not, and they were adamant that I'm not going to let this break me, I'm not going to close down, they are either still struggling or they're no longer with us. It's a huge thing to understand, to be able to pivot, be flexible enough to pivot.
Exactly. But everybody knew at that moment, help me remember, 2021, when is it?
2020, wasn't it?
2020, yeah. February, March, April,
Yeah.
whole world gone crazy. I was stuck in Singapore for around 100 days, like, because we had a business there. Anyhow, there is, when everything started, 2020, everything started like this. But the ending of the COVID crisis is still with some tails
Yes.
here. Is it? No, it's still not. What do we go back to the office or not? Anyhow, there should be, and it is happening, a big pivot in post-COVID, which was much harder to detect. Is it over? Okay, it's over. What do we now? What do we do now?
Yep.
Countries, US has a monetary crisis because of the printing all that money during COVID and so on, and the inflation is never higher. Big companies like Google, like Facebook, Adobe, they're all letting go people and so on. So this post-COVID is also challenging as it is not
COVID
as
itself.
abrupt as the COVID was, but still you always have to listen.
Yeah.
And like the first 3 rules of sales.
Tell me.
Listen
Listen again,
yeah. That also counts for business. Like you always have to listen. Are we on a good track? Yeah. Oh, 2 studios. Oh, okay. Do we need one more? Or it's not. Or like so. Yeah. It's always the science.
And you hit upon another point, because I think being able to listen is a skill in itself.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're so, and it kind of crosses over between a few things where you are built to believe in a concept or believe in your vision, believe in your plan, and then just keep going. Have that determination, have that focus, have that resilience. But there is a caveat, and that should be, please be flexible enough to pivot, to listen if there is a need in the market for you. If your feedback is not great from your existing or potential customers, take that on board. Don't be so blindsided by, I have this and I'm going to just keep going no matter what anyone says. That is not going to help you. And I think you have to be aware enough and wise enough to navigate yourself.
It's always good. It's hard, but it's always good to have an objective opinion from some kind of an advisor, consultant, or even board member or somebody who can objectively look at the things and not being operationally there. Yeah. So it's always good in the company to have the roles like set up like that. So at least one person, if not few of them, can objectively look at it. Oh, this is good. This is not good. Let's do this. Let's do that. So yeah, it helps. I have to be very honest. Like with those several ventures that I have now, I'm not sure what is the end game to it. Everybody.
But there's a beauty in that. Not to have the whole thing figured out.
Exactly.
That's where you allow the science to show up and you allow yourself to go with the flow.
But just recently, I started enjoying it.
Yeah.
For me, 2 years ago, it was like, no, it has to be something, I don't know. This,
we've all been there. My goodness.
So really, you know, at the end of all ends, like everybody would like to finish all the business endeavors until I don't know 40, and then
And then just
relax, you know,
retire and
whatever.
enjoy their life. Yeah.
That's not happening, you know. Like in the most cases, that's not happening, you know. Like even if you do it, then you think, if I did until 40, oh, can I do it again until 50, whatever? So basically, 2/3 of your life, you are,
Yeah.
yeah, even if not more, you're creating something, you know. Why don't you enjoy the process of
Yes.
doing it? I have to be very honest. When I enter Podster Studios, I really feel, no matter, I have to be very honest, Vuk pulled much more than me for all of this to happen. But being proud, you know, is not enough to say. When I enter here and I see everything is like a hive, everything is so
Yeah.
busy and so on, uh, today I'm feeling fine because I entered here, I met you, and I don't have to know my end game and whatnot,
I
you know.
think where's the fun if you know like how
Yeah,
it's going to end?
yeah.
You like
And nobody knows, of course,
yeah, you
obviously.
don't know, but the planning. I think there is a flaw in this concept of planning and having goals and being. Okay, let me rephrase that. Having goals is great
Yeah,
if you need to have something to strive for, but being stuck on that goal, it's going to not help the process or for you to help to enjoy the process because you're so focused on I need to get there, I need to be there, I need to, and then if things do go
and they do.
wrong, and they do, you need to be able to pivot. Like this is one of the most beautiful words that
Yeah.
you have to just understand it, embody it, submerge yourself into it. Because trying to say I'm gonna keep going and that's where I'm gonna, you might actually miss so much else that could be for you because you're stuck on one thing. And if you never achieve that, it doesn't mean you failed. It just
Yeah.
means maybe you need to open your eyes and look around
Yeah.
and see something else. What would you say has been the most challenging experience of your entrepreneurial journey so far?
Uh, Definitely, without any kind of thinking, my first company failure and bankruptcy.
Okay. Tell me about that.
And and everybody thinks that you know, like oh, how will I survive that? Oh, it's very hard, and this is what I thought. And I was really, it was tough time for me in many ways, you know. Being at that moment, being a celebrity in Serbia didn't help at all, you know. Like when your company collapses as a celebrity, oh, a lot of front pages, cover pages, you know, like, and so on. And then when you move to Dubai, oh, he ran away, whatever. But now, today, I would wish to have my experience now. It would be fully different. Who tells you that within the several ventures that I have now, I don't have a fire within the company, you know, which has to be dealt with now at the moment. Everybody has it. But the problem is that, and this is what I got from one friend from US. He says, "Oh, you Balkan people, and obviously people in the Middle East also, you take business too emotional, and business is war. You know, like business is something that you have to look on tactics, look this here, there. Oh, we failed here. Okay, let's go there. Okay, and the morale has to be very high and so on." And definitely, I wouldn't take it as hard as I did. It took maybe a decade of my life to recover fully from it. But one thing as a question is, why for the entrepreneurs, why do you think the companies are established as LLCs or LTDs, you know, limited liability company?
Yeah.
And now let that resonate a little bit in the sound of this podcast, you know, like limited liability company. I met a guy who just at that moment rose. Is it for capital rose? Huh?
Raised.
Reason, yeah?
Raised.
Raised, yeah?
Raised, yeah.
Okay, so he raised 400 million not even a year after he bankrupt. And then he's not on social media, but his wife is, and I met her too, And then you see that they are living their life like a normal people. They travel, they go to the balls, they go to events and so on. They live their life, and obviously when that much money is in I don't know how, but obviously they were prepared to do so. But it's very important what you did in Dubai, and I really praise you for that. When you talk to people about it, when you have deeply recognized it in yourself, then you realize, hey, I'm not the only one in the world having problems. Because usually, and I think that everybody should have a psychotherapist or shrink, because for the first reason is to realize that your problems aren't so specific, unique, and hard as you think they are, because they're probably in some book that shrink went through,
What was that biggest game-changing failure for you?
I think that from each and every failure or each and every mistake that we make in business, we learn a lot.
Yeah.
And this is why I would suggest anyone who has any idea of entrepreneurship and to do something outside the big corporations and systems is to try and fail. That's the biggest thing. So I can tell several, because you see I cannot focus on
Give
one.
me the juiciest one, the one that really made you create something different.
But definitely that my first failure was over delegating too much too soon. That's 100%, because I'm kind of a good student. If you tell me that delegating is good, I will go and delegate everything to everyone and not think about it. Wait. How do you do it, and why? How long does it take? To do so. My last position, top position, head of sales in our company now. It took me 4 months of scheduling or shadowing and like working together with the head of sales to come to the position where he can take over, and another 2 months I was still there. So 6 months for one position to work with and so on. So over delegating, definitely. Maybe the biggest thing is or was not having a clear picture on finances. And
That's a big one, yeah.
and that's like at the moment money was coming in. We had contracts for 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, this that money was coming in. Oh, can I take this much from the company? Yeah, you can take this. Da, 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 da. And then I overplayed that, like and not, and I cannot blame anyone else but me, not having a clear picture on finances to exactly know the number. I had a meeting with my top management today. We have a clear picture in the next 3 months in few bucks plus minus, like where we are at and what we are doing. And I think that's maybe the biggest thing. Also, not implementing processes, not implementing the system of work, and specifically not implementing the processes from the beginning, because when you say processes, you usually think about production, isn't it? We are producing shoes. What is our process? We take the leather, we put it here in this machine, and everybody think about that. But you should have processes also for financial, administration, HR, and so on and so on. So you can, if needed, replace some people, not depending on a certain names. You know that today there is a crisis in late night show television in US. James Corden got fired. You heard.
Yep.
And others are not doing that well. And David Letterman retired before time because of that and so on. And why? One of the opinions, because the show is the same, like Johnny Carson had it 30, 50 years ago, and so on. And everything is the same, and everything was too much on his name.
Yeah.
The success of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with 120 territories and 120 different hosts on those territories, 120 languages, I don't know, like is the success is in the format, aka in the processes that you establish within your company.
Yeah, yeah.
So obviously, if you have a superstar head of finance, everything is good, everything is. But when he leaves for whatever reason, in a good manner or what not, you are not left. Oh, how do I find a superstar?
Sure.
You should have the processes that change you. So those are the key takeaways from that big failure that I had more than a decade ago.
One experience which didn't work out has taught you so much. And thankfully, you've learned so much from them that they won't repeat. Because that's what happens.
don't
If they
worry,
don't,
there are
they
more
will keep
things to learn.
There you
No,
go.
always.
And that's the beauty of life, right?
Yes.
Because it's never a process that you learn and then it's done. You will always keep learning.
Yeah,
But it's what you do with that learning,
exactly.
how you implement it so you don't have to experience it again.
And then there are new stuff coming in, like there's so many things. So be prepared on the bumpy road ahead. And it isn't as sexy as they call it, like entrepreneurship and this
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that. It's very hard, but you choose your life, whether if you want to work for a salary or you want to be an entrepreneur. So you choose. There are pros and cons for both, and I think when you are an entrepreneur, you will learn. I always say, my mistakes up until now costed me more than Harvard University undergraduate studies. But I think I learned more
Yeah.
than on Harvard, and that experience is something that I really like to share. I really like to share. People really tend to ask me about it, and I still don't charge for it. I'm not a consultant, coach, or whatever advisor. I really like the what's in there for me is the success of that person. If I tell you something, I saw that you implemented it.
You get the
that would
satisfaction
be
from that.
like
I want to know what motivates you to keep going.
my lively spirit.
I love that.
A friend of mine told me, oh, when my company collapsed, and she was really one of the rare people being there, for me at the time, she said, I really admire you. You're like a phoenix, I said, but what other option I have, like that's it, like I want to enjoy. I love media. I want to do work in media, but because I was talking with her as she was at the position at the time, like about some new projects and so many ideas, so many things. Oh, ideas! Don't get me started with it.
Yeah,
Like so.
yeah.
So yeah, I think that inner spirit fulfillment and some drive towards and passion and love for what I do.
Beautiful. What's the best advice you've been given?
Always ask yourself whether if you are happy, if you are not happy, change something. And whatever you do in life, if you don't want to do this podcast, don't do it. But I see that you want to do this podcast, so do it, and be a little bit more egocentric to the nice and decent point than to make your friends or parents or family or whoever happy around you. Do it for yourself.
For
Be a
yourself.
little bit more egomaniac, but in a decent. Don't
Serve yourself.
Yeah, serve yourself. A little
Yeah,
bit,
you don't need to please other people. You need to please yourself.
And the life is life is long, but life is short. Also, you have to enjoy it while it lasts.
I love that. So, Ivan, I can talk to you for hours and hours and hours. But I do want to wrap up with one simple question, and it's a future-focused one. What's next for Ivan?
In the spirit of the conversation, I don't have end goal in mind, but I know what I want to do. No matter that I have several media companies and who knows how many editors, producers, and so on, I create my daily content, and I'm around number of 180 these days, 174 these days. I'm creating daily content by myself, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I really feel that it is time that original content creation grows, and that original content creation goes from traditional media to the digital media, and the opportunities are vast. There are some things happening, but I really took some conversations to another level with exploring original content creation as something that I want to do in the near future. I'd like to give an advice for everyone who would like to start their opinion there, because when you have your own opinion and you have your own vision of the world, you gather people like yourself
Yes.
around. I see more now. Obviously, I cannot know. I can't know all of them that are liking the content, they're commenting or whatnot, but enjoying to see people that I gathered some kind of a community of people who think alike. That is something that really, really resonates with me heavily, and this is why I would really love to have thousands and thousands of days in front of just creating simple content, and hopefully, as the time goes by, it would be easier and easier and easier to make. So don't, because everybody wants to have all the answers at the beginning.
Yeah, you go.
Don't do that. Just start
Just
today.
start.
Post just a simple video. Say, "Hi, I'm new to this. I don't know what it is, but I want to talk about this."
I love to just watch what you're doing. I think you have such a great vision. And like I said, your energy is just, it's like a snowball. It just keeps growing and growing, and I love it. I love being around you. I'm going to keep watching what you're doing, because I know you've got great things coming up, and I'd love to invite you back again with more stories, because I know that we've just dipped our toe in where you've got to and what you've experienced,
Tip of an
because
iceberg,
it really is. And I just want to just thank you again for opening up, for being brave as always, and putting yourself out there and sharing your learnings. Thank you. And yeah, I'm just excited to see what else you have coming up.
You're an amazing director of the conversation. Thank you very much. It was a real pleasure.
Thank you. I appreciate
And I'm
it.
blushing though.
Oh, you should be. It's all heartfelt. I'm honest. I'm telling you exactly how I feel.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for tuning in. I think you'll share my opinion that Ivan's story is not only just inspiring, but also it reminds you that everyone goes through these times, and it's just what you learn from it and what you do with it that makes or breaks it. So keep finding out what your passion is. Keep doing whatever you're doing. Keep understanding different parts of you. Take a leaf out of Ivan's book, and don't let anything keep you down. Rise up like the phoenix that you are, and you know what? You're destined for greatness. So thank you for tuning in. There's more episodes coming up, so just keep an eye out for us, and keep watching us.
Share, like, subscribe.
Castvio.ae are the fastest growing UAE domain and hosting provider. Exclusive only to FabDXP subscribers, benefit from 50% discount on their online services by using the promo code FabDXP. Just visit Castvio.ae and you can elevate your online presence.